My hair source in the fucking picture, you must understand. I don't have a. I don't want to do. I have a control over this through via. You just close a dockable window. I don't care, dude. I don't give a rat's. I don't give a rat's hat, bro. I don't care. Where is the video is not working? Is it? It's just not like there's no video, is there? Um, Go to my channel. Yeah, it's not working. It's not working right now. Unless it like I keep doing that. Don't like just I gotta mute my. Luckily that's not copyright because it's my own stupid ass music. Um. That's weird. Well, it does say I'm live here, so that's good. I'm actually live here. It just hasn't appeared yet. I still have the fan going on. I could turn the fan off, I guess, if we wanna get it like not to sound like that. I also have a bag on the ground that I could throw away temporarily. I just turned it on max setting. Really? I can't tell what's what. Okay, we have to adjust a couple things because it's like they made it. Why would they cork it up that high if the bottom is the locking one? I don't. Unless they like are like, oh, wait, we give you the locking one, but if you want one that doesn't fucking suck, if you want one that doesn't suck, well, I mean, you're kind of shit out of luck. Sorry, bro. You're out of luck there. Okay, what are we gonna talk about anyways in this stream? It was more like I took a week off and like didn't do anything at all. Like it's like, oh, I played guitar like one day and was like, I don't like I like why like I don't know, like there's a part of me that's just like like the real concepts are out there, like the real like fucking songs of our generation are out there, but we're kind of dumb and like we don't have the ability to like. Well, at least I am. Like, what am I talking about? People are good at making stuff. I just haven't been like into it. I don't know. I don't even like old music anymore. That's a crazy thought to be like, oh yeah, no, I kind of like haven't been into anything. Um, I have been into playing drums though, which is cool. I do like playing drums. That's the thing. But you need music to play drums. Like you could start with the basics, like rudiments. And I've been thinking like, okay, well, first of all, let's just talk. I mean, if we're going to be teaching the stupid instrument that is the drums, we need a metronome. So that's the very first thing. So I'll start out with a metronome, and yeah, because it's on here, so we're good. I have to route it through the whole thing. So So let's do the standard like 120, just to explain like the different thoughts behind playing this instrument, because there's not a whole lot that you can do, right? Beyond like actually having multiple like, hey, all these cymbals are tuned for different notes. You could do that if you had the space for it. But for most practical music, you're playing a I'm listening to whatever's out there. You're playing some sort of backbeat or some sort of accompaniment to the primary, which is this. How do I put this? Depending on the genre of music, you're essentially the backbeat or you're the accompaniment. Because the drum set originally was this like this thing invented to make sounds for movies, but people don't remember that or understand that. So so that's how you end up getting crazy stuff. And drummers want to get more and more and more elaborate with their things. But this is basically what you would want for a drum set. I just added the hi-hat, but I've been playing basically with just this and that. So kick drum, and then you'd have to have some sort of snare. Now, this is not ideal. Actually, there might be a way to lock this down better if I do this, maybe. Yeah, that works. I didn't think I'm dumb. I did not even think about that. The only thing is then I have to figure out how to like keep it away from that. There we go. Back to what I was getting to. You wanted some sort of hi-hat. This is like my tom-toms, basically. And then ride cymbal or crash cymbal. I keep hitting. This is like Mopey's bed. I keep hitting. It's like smells like cat hair. Like every time I hit it. Okay, and then you need the hi-hat. The hi-hat is the pinnacle of drumming innovation in the past 2 centuries. This is the most important thing on a drum kit, besides this and this. Besides the elements that make a drum set. Which, by the way, if you're talking about traditional grip versus... I can't do it. I can, it's just I have to not think about it. Like, thinking about it is the hard part, right? So that's the thing, and that's the thing that makes the traditional grip so great, is like, it was really because the bass drum pedal was invented. They had these ginormous bass drums, and the drummers were still playing a side drum. So it's like, I mean, that's what they were doing. And that translated up to here. Just speed it up. And it basically goes into like all the way up until surf music, and then it's at that point it's like everybody goes into traditional to match grip. And I think the reason behind that is more just like everybody wanted to be more ambidextrous, and they wanted to play bigger drum sets. And if you want to play a bigger drum set, you have to have 2 bass drums, and 2 bass drums means that you would need all this extra space, because basically like if you have a bass drum over here, now you're focused on this side, so it's mostly like if you want to expand, you have the left side, because that gives you free range with the traditional grip to go over here, play whatever you need to play whatever you need to play whatever you need to play, and then you can do whatever you want to do all the way over here, you know, versus like this was basically as far as you could go over here. You got this all the way over here, and then this is like your leading arm. What I never understood about that is it's like you could just back away and then go over here, or you could just like, you know, raise your hi-hat. But I digress on that. I think generally it was like people just looked at Ringo Starr and they were like, oh, okay, let's just play the same way, and it just caught on. I do think that if you're playing certain genres of music, obviously you need to do it. For punk and heavy metal, like if you're doing any kind, it's not even just blast beats, but like any kind of heavy beat where you need a downbeat that's a rim shot every single time, this is good for precise rim shots, but it's not good for power rim shots. You're like not really going to ever get that kind of power from a rim shot. Anyways, I pulled up the metronome. We have 120 going on here. Dun, dun, dun. So, if we think about this rhythm, right? I was thinking about how, as a drummer, there's essentially different ways that you could play the notes on a page. So if you were looking at like whole notes and you had 4 whole notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the way that I played that was right, left, right, left, right? Okay, so but you could play it right, 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 left, 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 left. Okay, so like just think about that, all right? I'll pause the metronome for a second here. So if you think about that from a techniques perspective, what you're looking at is on the page. If you were playing the notes, you would either think about it in your methodology, meaning that if you continue to play in a specific dexterity, so right-handed or left-handed, oftentimes you'll want to lead with your right hand, meaning that dun, 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 dun. Right? This can't even think. Which takes me a while to think about from a left-handed perspective, because I don't do that often. Like, that's hard for me to do. Even though I can do... It's kind of like that thing where it's like, you can be ambidextrous, but not be left-handed, right? Like, you're right. You can be right-handed and ambidextrous, but you might not be left-handed. Think about that for a second. It's like you can be ambidextrous. You can have dexterity in both hands, where you play your left and your right perfectly in sequence, and every single left and right becomes a left and right, stroke roll, essentially. So you can start on your lefts and start on your rights, no problem. That's true, like full ambidextry, but it's not like your left-handed dexterity is better, good as good as your right-handed dexterity. Your right-handed dexterity can be better than your left-handed dexterity. So that's the first kind of mentality that I have when it comes to drumming, is that if you're playing rolls or straight rolls, you have a dexterity leading index, meaning that you're going to be playing things either one way or another. And this may determine how you look at the drum set. It may determine how your perspective on the drum set can actually make you play certain things, fills and stuff. In this configuration, it's not a whole lot of... Not a whole lot that you can do in those kinds of dexterous concepts, because if you're breaking into musical themes, you're oftentimes sticking with one, or, you know, I've got the pad on here to save volume, but you're either sticking to one or the other kind of sonic lead in the background, while your other hands are completely independently determining either the backbeat, or in some cases, like with jazz, it's an accent of whatever rhythm is going on, typically with the bass and the harmony. And this is just drum set music concepts. Like if you're talking about like the theory behind the drum set, this is what basically boils down to. Now, like we're in advanced territory right now. This is like super advanced territory for drummers. So if we want to like break it down even further, we go to the most basic level of where it comes from. So like I had started with linear drumming. So I'm on 120 again. Linear drumming is essentially when you are playing sequences that are the same. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Because they're not like polyrhythmic, there's no like you're getting funky with this one, but there's nothing really preventing you from losing track of time. Everything is straight. So all your rolls are essentially those sorts of rolls until you get to paradiddles. But paradiddle is still a sequence, so it's a sequence on top. So you're thinking in terms of in paradiddles. That kind of bum 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 bum. You're still hitting bum 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 a single stroke roll. You're just adding a pattern of notes in between of lefts and rights, and their equal distributions of others. My favorites are doubles. And with doubles, they're 100% single strokes, but they're just duplicated. So what you can do with doubles is you can do standard doubles. Doing like a mamba feel, I don't know, because at 120 it's kind of like it's kind of like trudging along. 120 is an interesting deal. But that's how, I mean, what you can do with it depends on the subdivision. So it's all subdivision on like based drumming. So all of this is still like subdivision based drumming. The next step above that is polyrhythmic things. So you're thinking in terms of but like the concept within polyrhythmic drumming is that you're really thinking about two rhythms at one time. And I don't feel like explaining that too much. It's easier in a slower rhythm, and I don't particularly want to use 120 as the demonstration. But we don't really need to go into that. Really, the way that that works is it's more of a musical thing. So if you're thinking about the basic terms of drumming, all of this is going to help you do, you know, which is barely even what I was talking about. But it's like that'll just like get you to where you want to like just think, where's the music at, like as far as like, you know, all the other components. Everybody else needs to think the same way as far as rhythm goes, because rhythm is just like what you're doing in the song. It's just that like your harmonies and your melodies and stuff like that are more about drawing emotion, and the rhythm is what actually creates the pattern in your speech. The rhythm is what creates the pattern in the melody. The rhythm is what creates the like the ideas within the harmony, because you have to have beating in the harmony to create certain feelings. Otherwise, you kind of stagnate the tonality of things, which will work in certain contexts, but like not make sense in others. And you know, I think what people are realizing, I mean, this is kind of like, okay, here comes the conspiracy theory. People were cool with stuff like the Yamaha DX7 in the 80s because they were listening to everything on analog. Because they were listening to everything on analog, the pitch was never perfectly in sync, and therefore these instruments that were like really, really perfectly in pitch, and these instrumentations that are like really pure in harmony, are never listened to in pure harmony. And therefore when you re-listen to them like on the equipment that you own, and you listen to them over and over again, you had slightly minuscule, there's the same experience in your head, but like there's like just a little bit of a sonic difference every single time, and equates to the experience being like a chorus, like amplified over time in the mind, so that like you just have a better experience overall. In the digital sense, it's more of like an amplified experience, meaning that every single time that you would listen to this, you would just hear the same thing and then recall the experience and be done. So what ends up happening is people are less interested. I do have an air filter on right next to this too. That's making a ton of noise. Oh, dude, listen to that. That sounds so much better. You can even hear like the people outside because I have a window open. Just playing music probably. I don't know. Anyways, like we are into, I don't know how long I've been streaming for. I have had 0 views. Fuck yeah. These are unlisted. It's an unlisted one. I'm just recording this to have it be on an available thingamajigger. Dude, yeah, I should actually make it it's public now. I was like, why couldn't I see this shit? I didn't even realize it was privated. But I fixed the audio. I basically fixed a bunch of audio issues, and that kind of like saved the stream so far. I was like, why do I not have any views? That's kind of crazy. My stream's probably like super far back too. I was just talking about like techniques, but I was like completely like I'm not prepared for this at all. See, that's just like the wind outside blowing. There's some crazy sounds outside too. Like if you could hear this, it's pretty crazy out there, people. It's crazy out there. I should probably like, dude. I should bring out some percussion and just do some wacky stuff out here. I do have that, and I think I have another seat that I could put it on, which is also like real like. It's like dummy idiot shit. Like, what's like the crappiest idea I could, you know? This is a good one. I have an actual like glockenspiel one too. Xylophone. Xylophone. The xylophone. This is a good one. This is gonna just fall over, isn't it? This is good. I mean, that's cool, but like, totally slipping. Think like that. Like, oh man, that's a good one. How far back the stream? Dude, this stream is crazy far back. Holy shit! I mean, like, dude, that's a crazy one. I'm watching it on the thing right now, and it's like I haven't even started playing with the. Like, it hasn't even started yet. I don't even know if that's real or, like, if the stream is just, like, really off. I have to, like, wait for it to catch up. This is a crazy, setup right now that I got going on. So it's like... I gotta move it like this way. Can't even hit the 5. You could also do like really weird, like if I had moon gels or something, like I could do that, or I think you could stick a sock in there. Also, this thing is super loud when you take the bottom of it out. It's like, I don't know, it's cool. I like it. I like it. It's good. It's good. I like it. What else can I do? I need to like actually put this wire away, like I had before. Behind the head. Behind the back. We could just start talking about other drum things. It's getting kind of hot in here, so I might have to turn a fan on in a minute. It's like halfway through the stream. I know it's like halfway through the stream and I like realized that I was unlisted. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah. If you have like a public... Concurrent viewers at one time was 1. I have 0 right now. Fine. I'm actually really fucking far back. Like, I think it's just, it's starting the stream late. Yeah, it just started the stream publicly, like, really late. So I'm like, I have a head start to the stream. That would be weird. I don't know if I could do that. I need another drum stool or a stand. I do have a stand in there. I got a couple stands in there. Like wanted to play. I was like, okay, now I brought this thing out. Now I just want to play. Okay, I need to go back to actually making the stream, which is some sort of business to attend to at this point. Now that I know that the stream is like crazy lagged behind, I'm like, oh, maybe I should restart. I don't know. Where do I even start from where I was at? I mean, because I was talking about like how with drums you essentially start realizing, okay, we only have 2 hands. You have 2 hands, but you have 2 hands and 2 feet, and you can do things that you wouldn't think you could do when you initially start playing. So when you initially start playing, you think like, okay, well, I mean, I guess if I want to make the sound of like, you would hear maybe like, and then you pick up the sticks and be like, it's like not the same. It doesn't have the same consistency, and also it's like jittery and like kind of not there, right? And the reason why is because even if you're thinking in a DAW process, right? Like a computer is just like an individual instrument playing the so which is even, I mean, I guess you could do that, but the way that you'd have to play it would be because of the right-handed drum configuration. So it's like that thought process is like the thing that drummers do, where they're like, okay, well, I have to think about this first to get it to where like I'd be able to. I can't even do it. It's like, I would have to lower this hi-hat, which is an excuse. Oh, is that? That's because it's like. So it's like one of those things where the rhythm is a composed thing, and so you have to think about it in those sorts of terms. Even for myself, it's like, okay, well, like now you're like, okay, I have to actually like adjust the physical thing. Where it's like there's no snare hit there. The snare hit being there would be something that I'd have to like somehow doctor in. Or like you could just be like, where it's like you'd have to like cleverly affix that to something. Dude, this is so fucking far behind. How is this so far behind? I can't figure it out. Oh, I'm far behind. I'm an idiot. I like didn't bring the video all the way up. I was like, man, why is it so far back? I'm so dumb, man. That's crazy. Well, that's more just me being like, okay, well, it's Sunday. It's my last day off, and I've been like hungover. I don't know. And so it's the I'm like trying to do the dun 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 dun. There's like 42 minutes of this, man. So crazy. The 0 views. It's probably more so like I have not like advertised or tried to do anything. Can't like be bothered with it. Just like checking other things, like not bothering my own stream. It's hella laggy. Damn, bro, it's laggy. Why? Why is it laggy? Like this. That's my like general North American man impression. Like it's not specific. It's a general North American man. It could be any. That could be any man. I don't know what this person's singing about out there. They're singing. I'm sick. Turn the volume up. Yeah, I think it's more like turn the volume down. You could like do I could flip that. It would be like really. I mean, it's already loud. I made the thing fucking loud. I made it loud for you guys. That's for the people at home. For the people at home. This sounds like the was that Dr. Seuss, like the Who's from Whoville when they come out on Christmas Day. That's what it sounds like. It's like that. I could start cracking jokes, start doing a bit. It's comedy. Comedy is like really bad right now. Like it's not like bad in like certain sense, like down bad more than bad bad. Like down bad meaning in the sense that like I think there's like this weird like pseudo ideological warfare thing going on where people think really fucking genuinely believe that they are like fucking not politically correct and they're the most like insanely politically correct people ever. So it's like and it's this weird like okay, like recently it's felt more than ever that the tables are starting to turn on the old red and blue, and things are getting a little bit more conservative on one side and a little bit more liberal on the other side, and people are starting to get a little bit less aware of the fact that when that happens, you're homogenizing a culture, and that's what's actually going on. That people are getting progressively more like each other every single day, and we have to make differences to understand each other. Like, it becomes difficult to just be like, oh, wait a minute, like, you live right next to me and you eat the same fucking food and you like the same stuff, and like we should hang out, but nobody does, because and it's not because of specifically because of that, because it's because of the times that we're in and all of the elements of the world that are going on. Especially, I mean, I wouldn't say the global pandemic had a huge effect on that. It was already like that, but the biggest difference is definitely the end of big box stores. That's the biggest difference. Like, not like having to go, like, you used to have to go out to go get something, or you'd have to mail in to get it. Like, there were only two ways, right? Now everybody basically mails in. But what that creates is just infinite shrink. Product just gets shipped back to the manufacturer, and like nobody really makes money, so you have to keep passing everything down, and so products keep getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And if you want to buy good quality products that will last longer, you got to spend an arm and a leg to get to that point. So there you go. Like, that's comedy. That's comedy. That's how comedy is now. That's what comedians talk about, is that shit. That's comedy. That's funny. Yeah, no, really, that's how I feel about all that shit right now. And politics, podcasting, and all that stuff, like, I think it's just the times. Like, we're all stuck in this, like, hellhole of, like, okay, we can't have good things. Like, we literally have bad choices only. And it's because of, like, too many people existing, not enough people standing up, a lot of people just wanting to, like, basically get their dick sucked. There's no, and it's not even like I'm not pointing at names at anybody. This is just the way of the fucking world. I mean, I think everybody wants to get their dick sucked, but like, that's the way of the world. Like, you just end up realizing that, like, nobody really cares about anything anymore. It's not like anybody's gone to war and seen people die and then like come out of this and go, oh my god, like this needs to end. It's not like that anymore. It's like people are going through their whole lives and then like basically saying that like, you know, the guy that faked his own death? That shit's so crazy to me, because it's like that guy that faked his own death and then flew to England and then like convinced a woman to like marry him, and like he's just like a fucking slob pretending to be British. Pretending to be British is the greatest thing ever. Like, imagine somebody just pretending to be an American and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm American. I am very stuck like this. It's like clearly like fake accent, just awful, fucking horrible. He's supposed to be Irish, I think. He's trying to do an Irish accent, but it sounds like Paddington. Great. And but like that guy, like that's when you go full like insano mode, and like you truly lose yourself. You're like, I have to lose myself because I'm rapist. I'm going to now. But he should have just died. Like, he should just like let the COVID get him. Honestly, like, if you knew that you were gonna get caught, you'd be like, yeah, no, like, I'm not gonna fucking. One concurrent viewer. I do feel like that needs to go down a little bit. I don't even know what is going on now. We do need to set metronomes so that I can't stop like being really sloppy and really bad at playing drums. It's also getting pretty hot in here, which is nice, and you can hear some birds outside. I've been talking about rando shit, like just being like fucking stupid for the past like, I don't know, while. That might be a little loud. I don't know if it's too loud. I might bring it down a bit. We're bringing it back. This is really dumb. Leave it on 3-1-3-7. I need to make that louder. Is to be louder for me. You do, yeah, there we go. Cause I don't need to hear myself. That's fine. Make it way faster too. Like you could just do some like real stupid drum and bass stuff. 148. Ooh. Also, that's why is it green now? Oh, it changes when you make it really fast. This is just like blast beat tempo. This is like not even fun. What is this? Okay, I need to like. I can't even like think about that. That's like way too. It's not even like the speed. It's just like the fact that it's not even the speed. It's just the fact that like I'm just like I want to play it faster than that. I can't. It's like it's not. You have to do it slower. Five is nice. It's like that's what is it? 1, 3, 4. It's better to do it this way. Mosquito. It'd be like. Oh, I have no viewers now. That's good. I had 5 views. Oh, that's kind of cool. I got like at least a little views. Couple view durations. Are you Mitch Mitchell? Yeah, I am Bitch Bitchel. I'm Bill Bellamy. I don't know. Who is this? I don't know. I got no shoes on right now. The way to do the Mitch Mitchell thing though is like if you really wanted to like do the whole fucking. Well, okay, wait. I'd have to do this. How would you like do the whole like? I mean, that's way like more rudimentary than what he would do. Because he'd be like flying around the kit doing all the jazz shit. Just going crazy, you know? But I mean, fundamentally, like... And the Ginger Baker thing's the same kind of way, except Ginger would do like... And then... The main Ginger move is that when because he would flip between both. He was one of those guys, and he would do like the traditional grip for like some things, and then he would get into this to like go around the kit and like do all the fucking like stuff. But his whole thing was like doing that stuff, and like where you're like. You know, like you realize like you can't do that. Like, I mean, you can. It's just like where you could do it and how you could do it. I guess like there's a control aspect or something, but it's also like I think it's like doing a lead session thing with the right hand, while you do the ride with the left hand is also a thing. Which is like, that's more of like a jazz fusion thing. Like, there's a lot of jazz fusion drummers that get into like just being straight up ambidextrous. How long has this been now so far? This is freaking pretty long stream. This has been a long stream. We're dealing with over an hour of this shit. Oh my god. We talked about politics. Not really. No, I don't talk about politics. Not in general. Like not in Broadway, and like more of like how does it affect you as a drummer? Jesus Christ. Okay, I need to shut the fuck up. Or you could do what else could you do? Stupid or not. Um, Ripley, stupid or not. Welcome to Ripley, stupid or not. Hey Max. Howdy, howdy. It's Sunday. We got some sort of thing going on outside downtown, so like I can hear people singing outside. It's kind of cool, actually. I should probably flip the mic around, just ruin all the levels and everything. It's kind of cool. It'd be cool to just like listen to that instead of this. This practice stream has been going good. I've been talking about nonsense for the past like hour, and we'll continue. We'll be doing more of this. How far back is the stream on my end? Because I'm not go. All right, and take it back. I was at like 173. There we go. I keep doing the stupid. I keep playing the Immigrant Song beat over and over and over again, like non-fucking stop. It's like the only thing I've been playing like over and over again. It's like I keep. Then like you do the old stop like. Okay. Hella scary noise in the background. Scary noise. Scary noise. There's my cats right now. They're just going ah. It's just like Moby was like meow meow. I'm like okay what's up bro? And he's just there like with a mouse like yo. I'm like okay hello. They wouldn't want to be in here right now. Although they have been like all up in here. I like spent the entire day yesterday airing out the room. It smelled so bad in here. Yeah. It's just like, that happens because of the heat. All the heat and the cat making everything extremely smelly here. What else can I do? I haven't like really prepared too much. I was just like practicing good old practice while Irene's out doing laundry. And what else? There's not a whole lot else like in the world right now. To be honest, it's like not a whole lot's happened in the last couple days. There's like beeping now out there. Beeping. Beeping. What else can I do here? Let's see. I do sometimes I like to throw on the like drumless tracks, but they're usually really bad. It's like a really drumless song. The best part about these is they're usually like really obnoxiously bad. Dude, there's like full blown. Why are there full blown like songs on here? No, I'm not doing that. I would like. I wouldn't really. I'd realize that there's like Rush songs on here. It's like bad. Also, I'm gonna get the tracks like just completely demonetized, which I don't. I mean, I don't really give a fuck about. A lot of Rush. I went by like new because I was like, why is there like stuff on here that's not taken down? Oh my god, dude, just Dragon Force on here. Be nice. Dragon Force. Like so many Rush songs. What the fuck? They're all Rush songs. Like I don't like. I'll end up choosing a song that I've never heard before, which is what I wanted to do. All right, never mind. So hold on. Hold on. Probably like fire my. Oh, baby is here. Hello. Fettuccine's here, so I'm not gonna play drums anymore. Probably now that Irene is back. Um. Yeah, the door's open. Look at that. Look at the. She's like already at the freaking. Uh. She's already at the door over here, looking out the window. Her sister was out there last night, and they were just like all staring at her. For like, I don't ever leave the window open, but I cleaned up some of the pollen out there. Tried to take care of some stuff. I don't really go out there anymore. Um. Hey, you're back. What's up? Come on. Good. Um. Should probably move the. Oh fuck. Crazy way of being set up on here. I know, sorry, Fetchy. But like, it's all of the garbage too in the room, just like stacked up that I had to take care of from the last couple of days. Mostly just my crotch shot there, yeah, nice little thing. And then I've been like just eating food I've made at home for the past couple days and getting fat. Nice. Been good. Um what else? This is really distracting in face. I'm gonna break this for sure. Definitely break this. Boy. And the wires too. For when I have the dual camera setup. I have one camera on my foot and another camera on my head. Something like that. And I bought a like the stupidest thing I've ever bought. It's a foot pedal to control basically just like a key on your keyboard. And kind of dirty right now. I really use this like foot pedal thing that I got. It's like basically I can make it be like this is record and this is like play, stop, record, that sort of thing. Thought I would use it, didn't use it because convoluted and the cord is short and I don't use it short. Wait, so yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I meant to plan. I basically planned on just goofing off for the rest of this stream, maybe for like a minute or two. Talk about. I haven't really been doing too much as far as music goes. Trying to get back into playing drums. These guys, basically, it's just like animals here. You kind of like, especially like work stuff, like just like I can't talk about work stuff too much. I don't really care. Like after a week off of work, I'm like, like I mean I don't really. I'm glad I'm going back. Like I'm glad I don't really want to have to like be waking up every day and be like I have to think about what I'm going to do. Instead, like just life, I guess. And what else was I talking about earlier? Talking about a lot of drum stuff, which is cool, but like if you're not like completely coherent with it, it's a little difficult to like think about like at all. You kind of get to a point where you're like, man, this is like, you know, who's gonna really listen to this and like think about this as far as like what I'm doing, unless you like really truly spend the time to break down every single stroke that you do, all that stuff, which can get kind of tedious. And with the YouTube thing, I think right now the big issue with YouTube is like entertainment is no longer like curated as much. Like people don't really spend time creating playlists for content. It's more of kind of like, well, here's a bunch of live videos that you can watch and people that are in this category, and then like you can kind of like branch away and get into this stuff if you have time. And then a lot of the people my age that got famous, like, or got, not really famous, but like do this for a living, would kind of you could tell that they're getting bored of what they're doing. It's like you just tell that people are just bored of like making the same content that they've been forced to make for the past like 4 years. It's probably like 5 years realistically, but for a lot of people it's actually more closer to 10. And I feel that with art, like especially with music, like you get to a point where you're like especially when you don't have like a fan base, or like or even really like it's not even that. It's like you don't care about the promotional like playing music side. You're more concerned about the like art side. But then you go into that circle of people and you realize like, oh, these people don't look at it as a sonic art as much as they see it as like a more cultural art. And so you kind of start having these arguments with people online about what makes music good. And it's the same shit that's always been around since like fucking Cream magazine. What's that guy? The Cream magazine guy, the critic. I'm gonna be like an idiot and search this up, but it's like I just forgot the guy, Lester Bangs. Yeah, well, it's like Lester Bangs. It's like you go from that and like punk rock, but then that all comes from like New York City art scene, Andy Warhol, and that comes from like an egregiously homoerotic take on racer culture, which is like this like real like it's kind of weird when you think about it. You're like, oh yeah, like it has to do with machinery and like the factory and like all like you start realizing, oh, okay, all this stuff is like the way that the art is, it's a counterculture thing constantly. It's always like, well, what's the count, like how do we take a mainstream culture and create counterculture out of it? And then that's what I noticed with like all the music stuff that's been popular for the last couple of years. It's like pretty much the same stuff. PC music into hyper pop, and then you have like all of the takes on EDM that have been going on with pop music recently, and hip hop's divergence from going into major trap music to pop music, essentially just like completely losing a lot of the origin of its original base self, and like kind of developing into the modern sensibilities of what music is for people that are younger. Like if you talk to younger people, and sometimes you do, and like I can't point names at people, but like being in, especially being on Discord, that's like a big one, because like if you're on Discord and you're just a person talking to people, then you're not like in like a million. Cause I always tell like people like are crazy when they have like a million Discord servers that they're in. Like that always gets me, but it's also like they're usually gaming ones. So if they're gaming ones, it's like I can kind of understand that. Or if you have work ones, I can get that. But like when they're all weird ones, then it's kind of like, okay, well, like you have to have some sort of like counterculture thing involved. Um, and that's kind of how the way things have gone, from that old school mentality to like the modern era. It's like people are still into the same stuff. They're always into music, art, politics, comedy, all the same crap as always. Cooking, video games are no different than any other game that people are interested in. Hobbies, basically, and like that's what ends up happening on there. But when you're in those servers and you start realizing like, oh, I'm getting older. Like I'm getting older, and I'm seeing young people come in, and their mentality is like so rooted in the same like naivete, like it's so like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's also like I feel like I have to fucking step back. Like I can't be like negatively about stuff, or like try to be like a hater on the things that they like, but at the same time I'm just like I don't really. I mean, like a couple things that are new, but it's like not. It's so hard to like new things now that are like, because new things either have to be a rehash of old stuff and they have to do it well, which means that there's this like war of like people needing to do really well at art and music, and like that's one side of it, and then the other side of it is the realization that like people that actually do well in it have connections to things, and are really good at communicating. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That's life. That's like literally everything that you'll like realize in life. It's just that like your talents and your skills may not be best suited for the things that you love doing. They may be better suited for figuring out how to make a dam more functional, or like figuring out how to like make a superior cooking technique for a specific kind of food so that they could be manufactured and made faster, or like you save lives through a device that or like a medicine that people need. Like there's all these like these things that you start realizing, you're like, ah, yeah, okay, I guess like all these things could be wasted on people that would otherwise just be like spending all their time making just, like really horrible music, which I don't blame them. Like if it works out for you, that's what you're going to fucking do. I spent like probably half an hour yesterday on the Charles Carroll stream, and I was like, dude, this is just like nonsense. I could do this. This is just nonsense. I could do this. This is just you're just talking to a camera for hours about nothing, and then just keep doubling back on things. Hell yeah, that's the way to go. Hmm. That's the only way to go. That's also like all the podcasting things is like when you get to a point where all this stuff is either going to be catered to you, but not curated for you. So curated for you is like when I was a kid and you went on a live stream compilation and like it was just like a fucking live stream compilation of just like crazy stuff that you would never see now because you'd have to like Google search every individual video to get them because like people wouldn't like they'd be like this playlist is some one video is on that on the playlist the whole playlist is gone, and that would happen all the time if it's not a music playlist or like if it's a specific kind of playlist, right? Like if it's the kind of videos that like you want to watch because they're on the internet, you know, fucked up shit and like weird stuff, creepy things, which then which by the way then end up on the internet anyways in people's faces on compilation videos by people like Nick Crowley who are just like copying another person's video. It's like literally the same fucking thing. Ah, that's great. I love that too. That's also YouTube. Like that's part of the whole thing. I spent a little bit of time talking about that before in a stream, but like didn't really get super like about it or try to like make it a stream specifically about that. Um, this stream obviously started out with me just playing drums for a long ass time, and now I'm talking, so people are a little bit more interested in it now. Topic wise, do you do all the same topics as everybody else? When you do clip show stuff, it's all the same topics as everybody else. You don't need you don't need what's the word I'm looking for? You don't need to like have consistency in your topics or your like concepts or what you're talking about. You literally just need like the same topics as everybody else. You just talk about the same things as you just talk about the Olympics for I couldn't be bothered. I started out thinking about the Olympics like on some sort of like level where it was like, oh, like this might be interesting to me, and then I remembered like, oh, this is like also a countrywide blood sport like thing where like every country sends their best people, and you know it made me like I've just been commenting like I want monster trucks and I want like fucking power metal like speed metal, and I want like Gundam fights in the next Olympics. I need like heavy machinery battling out to the death at the next Olympics because for the most part I like that's the way I felt about the breaking session, which is like I mean like I mean that what is the breaking like from a technical perspective, like it's more like how dangerous is the moves. I guess that's the whole thing. It's the same thing as like the skateboarding thing, although but both those are totally valid. I have no problem with them. Like they're totally okay. But there's like a certain sensibility where it's like you're just waiting for someone to die, like to not die but like hurt themselves seriously is more than likely like the concept behind adding it to the Olympics, which I don't know. Or like I guess it gets to a point where it's safe enough that like you're just like you have rules that are like regulated and it's like okay, you have to do this and you have to do that. The really dangerous ones are the ones in the the winter Olympics, the like slalom and like when people are like flipping, like the ones where people have actually died. those those are the really dangerous ones. And so we've been doing those for a long ass time, and I haven't had any fucking problems with that. So I guess that I'm just wrong. What's up, Fettuccine? Look at me. But yeah, and all the controversies about like the fucking like not even non-political shit like like who cares? Like that's all on like one level, right? Like that's just like because you know that there's somebody who works at that division that's just like, how do we make this controversial, but like not real? Like, okay, well, we could paint a guy blue. Like that's cool, I guess. So that they should have just straight up made him a Smurf though. That would have been funny. They should have just straight up made him a fucking Smurf. That would be great. Comes out to the Smurfs theme song. He would have been really good. Um, I didn't watch too much of it. I watched some of the surfing because they're like out in like some French. What was it like? They're in fucking like Tahiti. It's like and it's like super nice. Like France is like really gross and like humid and weird and like you have they're all like out in this like paradise doing crazy ass tricks. I watched some of the surfing. That was cool. I didn't watch any of the like major sports. I didn't like watch some highlight reels. Who cares? The U.S. won all the medals. China tried to win all the medals, but the U.S. won all the medals. We can do this. What was the button mode like? If you press this, there's like another mode where it zooms in on your face for a little bit, and then if you move, it tracks your head. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool camera. It does cool things, like tracking my head like this whenever I move. This is not funny at all. This is just like stupid. So you always wonder what like how they got those YouTubers got those special effects. Well, here you go. This is how those YouTubers get those special effects. Turn that off now. It won't turn off. I don't know. Okay, it's just I thought the light changed, but it doesn't change right away. It takes like a second to change. Oh my god. I've been doing this for like over an hour, like 2 freaking hours of just talking and like playing drums. While the stuff outside's been going on, which is kind of cool. I don't need the light on actually too. Could have just like turned the light off and like really like balanced out the natural light in here. This is horrible looking. I also don't look that good in general. But did you do a flip over? Now it's real. Now it's legit. Uh-huh. But you need to like flip the whole camera over. That just broke something. I have had this mount for a long time, and it's like really the rock stars. Yeah, all the like many like White Claws that I drank last night. Good. I was like, also I have this right here. I could just like put that on there like that, and like push this further back. So it's like horrible in my face, and like I definitely can see. There's a way to do this. I'm smarter than this. I have to like think with my noggin, think with my brain, my third brain. I was looking into where was it the where John McAfee died? He died in Brain 2 prison. Like what the fuck is Brain 2 like it's a real prison, and I looked it up, and it's a real prison in I think in Spain. Brain. This is great. I feel like I'm in fucking Battlefield Earth. Fuck yeah. This is a sick fucking take here. Battlefield ass Earth. I want to start getting to cooking something tonight too. I need to like work on. Okay, I'll let you out. Now, just say bye bye. Okay, bye bye. Say bye-bye. Fettuccine. The greatest cat of all time. I have 5 cats. It's like the story of the cats. I don't how do I even go into that? That's like a very long ass story. Because I moved into this house around 2021. It's been about 3 years. Crazy. Been in San Jose for like almost a decade. Next year, like end of next year, it'll be a decade. And not to dox myself or anything, but like I do live downtown, and I've been dealing with strays, which were basically the product of 2 cats that are now no longer with us. So there are 2 cats that have since passed away, I believe. At least I haven't seen them in a while, and they were essentially like the Adam and Eve litters downtown. I had to deal with that for a few years. So 2021, the girl had a crazy litter, 7 cat litter. That litter ended up being like dispersed at first. Some of the cats were pretty smart and were probably not completely feral. Some of them were a little bit feral, but ended up just like perishing because there was a particularly hot summer in 2022, and a lot of those cats, and we took care of them, we fed them and everything, but like it was really hard to get like 5 cats outside adequate care, especially when like they're mostly male. So like when you have a lot of male cats, they fight each other, and when they fight each other, they get sick. And this was also the time when FIPV was going around, so a lot of those cats just got feline COVID and got fucked up by FIPV, and was like one after another. They were like all pretty much gone, except for one cat, which is Baby, who is the outdoor cat that we've had ever since. And she's the one that survived and had multiple litters too. So at this time, there's no freaking catch and release. It's all entirely, if you want to get a cat neutered, you'd have to like pay for it. Drive to Redwood City, pay like, there's like a $50 fee for, there's one place out there that you could do it, which for a bunch of feral cats, they're not going to do that. And then we took one of these cats to PetSmart one time, and they were like, you need to sedate this cat. You can't bring a cat like this in here. You have to sedate the cat first. And we're like, oh shit. I was just fucking them. So yeah, and then he and his brother, they passed away. Some of the other cats just like left, and we never saw them again. And the dad was still around. Dad is like this like big Garfield fellow, big guy, tiny voice. And they would come back, and the mom cat is this black cat, and they would have kittens like probably once a year for like 3 years, two times a year, 1 year. So the year after she had the Fettuccine one, so it was Fettuccine and well, originally Orzo and Didi, black cat. Orzo was the gray, like Baby is gray, a little bit longer hair, and Didi, who's now Louis, and Orzo is now Marceline. They're well, Didi's a like he's not a true what's that called? When they have the little stripe on them like this, it's a something cat. it's when you mix a Bengal and an American short hair, it makes a Bombay. Yeah, so he's like a fake Bombay. Like he's like a Bombay if you mixed a regular black cat with a regular tabby American tabby. Like you end up somehow making a pattern. And Fettuccine, our girl, and then got another litter. Oh no, well, Baby had a litter, so Baby had a litter with her dad, I think. Or there's another cat out there too. They probably have cats have. They have weird stuff going on. You can have one cat can have a litter with like 4 different, like as many different dads. Really weird like that. It's just that like each kitten have DNA from each one's dad, so it works differently than human beings. And there are two guys out there. So I've seen the Fluff Man. I call him Big Fluff Man. He looks kind of like Greg, who's like also like a cat, but it's like someone's cat that never got fixed, and he's just like a nice, normal looking cat. And I've taken a couple pictures of him. I've seen him like 2 times out there, and I'm pretty sure that he's the dad of the first litter because those cats don't look anything like they don't look anything fettuccine. So that's how you get Custard and Earl. So that litter was Custard and Earl. So you gotta also understand that we took in 2 cats before that. So there was another litter before that. It's another litter before that. So she had another litter. We got rid of those cats. We got rid of them. We got them adopted, and then Fettuccine's litter came. That's the second litter. So Fettuccine was the second litter after that, and then after that was Baby's litter, and Baby had a litter, and Baby's litter was um, Earl and Fettuccine, and sorry, Earl and Custard, a cat named Alfredo, which was another orange cat, and a cat named Putty. Putty was like a really like cute, like super feminine. Because Earl didn't look feminine. We thought Earl was a boy at first. We always like Earl's a boy. No, Earl's a girl. Because we found out that later. We'll get to that later. So Earl had kittens, and that was later. But we'll get to that. We took those two. We took Custard and Earl, and then our neighbors at the time who were in the apartment over here. They did Putty and they took Putty and Alfredo. And one time they had to like go out for like a holiday. They're like, oh, we're like gonna find them adopters and everything, but like we're gonna go to the on this holiday, and like, can you take care of them? I took them back in. They were like, and then like a couple days, they were mean cats. And they were not the same cats. Like they got fucked up somehow. I think it's because they got free fed, and they when you free feed cats, they don't get the same amount of food, and they fucking fight over it. That's how it ends up making them have bad attitudes and stuff like that. Well, my cats have pretty good attitudes. They don't fight against each other really. Not any, sometimes because Mopey's new fight, but that's the point. Anyways, um, they had that litter, and then the next litter was the one that Mozzie. So Mozzie was from a litter that my neighbors are on the other house over there. They put out traps, and they took in a couple cats and ended up trapping Mozzie, and Mozzie got her tail cut in the trap, and we ended up having to take her to the vet and having it amputated. That cost like $500. Very expensive. Which I mean, like I mean, we're gonna keep the cat. You know, it's like okay, well, I mean, it's a cute cat. Like we're gonna keep them. We're gonna keep her, and it's fine. And that's how she got her name, was because she was like, I ever heard them talking about something about mozzarella, using a mozzarella cup because they don't have a real cone for her because she's so small. So like they put a mozzarella cup on her head, and that's how she got the name mozzarella. Which fit in with the pasta themes, considering the fact that my other cats were all named pasta stuff or sauces. Earl Grey, which is all food related things. So then so now we're on to, that's like the second to last litter. The last litter was we had, I don't know if it's Baby or Baby. There were more litters. I'll get into that later. But basically, Baby had kittens again. I believe it was Baby's kittens, and that's where you get Mopey, and you get Fuzzy, who was, I just called him Junior because he looked exactly like his dad, and then the last one, which was I think it was like a girl cat. I didn't have a name. I didn't have a name for them. Just called him Mopey's sister. I haven't seen her since, and I think one of the neighbors took her. Very cute, and also pretty not feral, nicer. So we had those cats, and then my bandmates in Chilindrina. So my bandmates in Chilindrina took the two. The couple took the two cats, the Fettuccine's brothers, and Luna was asking, like, I need a kitty friend. I need a kitty friend. Why don't you let me adopt a cat? I'm like, oh, I need to find a cat for you because all these cats are like afraid of people. And you're the most like you just talk to new people, have new people over all the time, and like I know that like you need a cat that would like be chill with that, and I don't know if I have one that would be like cool with that. And then this dude, Junior, was just like trying to run in the house and be like with the other cats all of the time. He was so freaking took him to her house at some point because we had him inside for like 4 weeks, and then gave him like, and he's just super nice. He's a nice cat. He looks just like the cats outside. That's the last litter that Mama had. One more very inbred litter where you get Weedy and Doughy, and and then like the gray boy, and I don't have a name for him. He's looks like Mopey, but he's a Prussian blue. Mopey's like a brown gray, very interesting. If you look in the light, he's got like a reddish hue to him. And cat outside has like a blue. He's also got the like face. They have that specific. And he's the only one that isn't fixed, so he's still out there with his balls. Whereas Weedy and Doughy, who are the two boys out there that we take care of, are also fixed, and then babies out. Those are the four outside. Mom I haven't seen in like months. Dad I haven't seen either. There was a heat wave, and then he was pretty beat up. His arm was pretty beat up all the time. Not in the best shape, but he's also a cat that I think is taken care of over in the other courtyard, all the way over on the other side of the street. Like, I'm more than positive that like people just like that and then that now. So it could be that way too. We just haven't seen. And then this like the cat situation gets crazier with the cats that we had inside because we did have kittens. A couple more litters inside. So the first litter, of course, was realized that Mozzie was pregnant. With this, you wait a couple months. The gestation period's like 3 months or so. I forgot. I don't know. Cats, but you wait, and we're like, all right, we're just gonna. We thought that it was just Mozzie. Mozzie has kittens, right? All right, cool. Then we got to get custard. A couple days go by, we hear crying. We're like, what? What? We just we had kittens, but like this not these kittens. And then in the cage, top fettuccine, little baby. I'm like, you're pregnant? One kitten? Little guy. He's the most inbred cat of all time. Like I can't even like this little dude. I don't know, man. Like I feel real bad for that one because that one was like, well, Mozzie was a great mom, and then fettuccine kind of like, oh, you're here, all right, you're fed, I'm out. And we finally got because the Mozzie's kittens were all like fuzzy little balls. So you had like two. One was like an orange boy. It was three cats. So it was one orange guy who was normal short hair, and then one orange guy that was a long hair. Somehow a long hair cat came out of this. And another long hair cat that's all white. So somehow a white cat came out of this. So, and those cats got literally took we need these cats. Like, they took the two long hairs because long hairs like that are pretty hard to come by, especially white long hairs are like like they're people spend a lot of money on white long hair. So it's just like they were just like, and then the other cat got adopted by um that was the first litter, and then Noki got adopted by somebody else. Got adopted by. And then Earl had kittens. A couple months after, we already gotten rid of all of those, and one was born stillborn. Tried to. The other two were like brother and sister. The boy was fine. He was like, you could tell like he could think. He like his dad. He learned dad and like normal. Gray, brown, tabby, black, tiger stripe guy. Then sister was gray and white and not the smartest. Very very not the smart. And both of those cats were with us for a lot longer. I don't know. They were both with us for like 6 months, 7 months. So you get maybe 6 or 7 months of running amok, which is like when they're little like that and they start to get older, it's like it's kind of hard to fact that getting on fires, fighting everything. Also, with you have that many cats in the um, they were both pretty much out of the house by the time Mopi joined, but Mopi joined last. Mopi was the last cat to come in. Mopi spent time outside, and I never anticipated taking. We had Fuzzy here come in and out, and I was like, okay, we'll have 4 cats in here, and then we've got these outdoor cats outside. But Mo was like a little fluff ball and sick all the time. Got bit on the mouth. And he was not really doing too good, so we had to take him to the vet, and then brought him inside. He got better. Healed, and then he got let him free with the cats for a little while. He got sick, and then I had to like keep him in the room for like 6 or 7 months. Kept him in here by himself, and then he got big enough to like fight for himself. Finally, let the door open, and so for the past like 3 months, I basically just, like getting him to become part of the community of cats here, and it's been difficult because getting up that his ears have been bitten by custard because he's a kid, and I've been trying to take care of it, buy the spray and like make sure to like he's separated sometimes, but he actually really wants. I think it's good for him as far as like his mental, like cat's mental, I guess. It's good for him. He needs to be able to spend time free, and he's been able to take his own territory. They all got their own spaces that they sleep on. He kind of sleeps in. He doesn't sleep in here. He sleeps in the nicer. Probably come back at some. He didn't really like sleeping. To sleep on the blanket that I've been using. Like that's basically the cat story. Although Earl had kittens one more time, and that was the last row before. I mean, they did catch and release again, so like I was able to take the cats to San Jose Animal Clinic and get them taken care of. So I got, first of all, baby's finally fixed, and Weedy and Doughy, which are the two boys that look, they're identical, and the only one that isn't taken care of is their brother. Who there are no female cats that are not fixed right now, so I'm not too worried about it. They're not like in the area anymore. We're not getting any more cats right now with the whole thing. We did have a rabbit that showed up randomly. That was a weird experience, like trying to catch a rabbit for like days, and like the owner coming over 2 days later. For a while, we spent like a long time trying to catch this rabbit. It was very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Tedious. But it was more so like people no one had. I'm trying to figure out what to do for I've got stew meat left over. I've got some beef that's like I got to stew up, but I don't know what to use for liquid. I guess I could just use water and like got taco seasoning. That I was thinking about using that as like as a base, and then like just stewing for like a really long time and tacos. I also figured out this is crazy, like, cause I have a Japanese toaster. Like I have a Japanese toaster. Okay, so it's more powerful than a regular toaster. So what that means is that I can stick thing. Well, it doesn't. What it means is that I have to leave it on low. Really, it doesn't matter. It's just that the cool thing about the Japanese toasters is that instead of them being like small, but they give you more spaces for toast. They just give you a longer basket to put the toast in, and it means that you can put like a big piece of something in there. And I've been doing tortillas, like especially if you want to do like the flour tortillas and you want them to puff up real quickly. You just dip them in there, and then get them puffed up, and then you pull it out, and then put it down, and then let it cool, and then do the same thing over and over again until you get the texture right. And like that is like a speedy fast track to like winning life. It's very good. And you just put your fajita stuff on top of it. It's very good. What else have I been cooking? I made cottage pie recently. Cottage pie was very good. The recipe, I sent the whole recipe to some people. It's the best thing about cottage pie is it's very easy. You think you always imagine that you can fuck it up, and you can't fuck it up. You can't. You go along with the beef because there's so much fat in the beef that like honestly, as long as you don't drain the fat in the beef, you can cook it as long as you want. It doesn't matter. And if you can, in fact, you can stick it in the oven for like hours, and it won't be a problem. So there you go. What else? What else did I cook this? I've been making a lot of bacon. I've been making a lot of bacon. A lot. I did make a fried egg the other day, but I've been like I got a bunch of non-stick pans that I got from Amazon for like $100, and I got a bunch of knives for like $40. So I've been just like cooking at home and making a bunch of like the same crappy foods over and over and over again. What else have I been eating here and getting fat off of? Well, I've just been drinking a lot, which is, that's how it goes when you have a vacation. I've been thinking about all these YouTubers that got sober, and they're like, yeah, man, like it was really bad. I was, I was in a tough rut. I was going to, it's like, shut the fuck up. The only reason why you feel that way is because you don't work. Like you don't have a day job. Like you don't have to go somewhere or be somewhere. Then like you can literally cancel whatever the fuck you're doing. Everybody else is just like living their life and like just dealing with it and like whatever. Everybody else is just like cooking food, binge drinking and cooking food at the same time. I was like literally what I was up to for like the past like whole ass week, like just binge drinking and like drinking to extremes that I've like now I've drank that much. It's not even that much. It's more the fact that like you don't expect yourself to drink as much as you drink. Like I got to the point where I thought I had 6 drinks, and like I was like going for my seventh, and I realized I had 7, and I was like, I need to stop drinking. It's already 3 a.m. And you do that like. I think that there are people that genuinely believe that that other people cannot like turn on the autofocus. I wanna do this as like an autofocus thing. All right. So I think there are genuinely people that believe that somehow their life and their lack of doing things and lack of having to be somewhere is effectively like an actual mainstream thing for people. Like people actually live their lives like that. But that's not how it actually happens. Most people have to hustle for like hours of their day, sometimes for weeks on end. Some people do it like nonstop for like months. Okay, this is not the right mode. I need the other mode, man. That mode didn't work. The autofocus mode actually, the autofocus is better. I do like the autofocus for this purpose. Zoom into my face and make and do this over and over. Good. I'm trying to get to my point. My point is that if you believe in that system, like if you believe that you're like that like okay, I do nothing all day, then of course you're not going to find any solace in a drink. You're just going to end up being addicted to the drinks. All right, like that's of course how it's going to feel. The focus is still off. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. It can zoom in out of focus. It's totally okay. That's acceptable. But like you have to understand that sometimes it's not about the addiction. It's about what you're doing with the addiction. And I think that that's the Matthew Perry thing. It's like yeah, they fucking sold that guy a lot of ketamine and they made fun of him. But he had to take a lot of ketamine to die in a hot tub. So you do have to add the stuff up, right? So it's like it's not something that you just get from like being like, oh well, you take any amount bad. Like nah, you got to take a lot of it to actually really become a bad person. Even then, like you could pretend like we because of our society, you could pretend like a little is a lot. You could Bert Kreischer it. It's like okay, well like the guy has like 6 drinks in like 2 hours. That's a lot of drinks, but it's a lot of drinks because of a misconception. It's a lot of drinks because you're thinking about it in your own head, in your own perspective. It's not you're not thinking about like because I for me 6 drinks in fucking 2 hours would be horrible. It would make me want to throw up. But like but can I do 6 drinks in like 6 hours? Yeah, I could do 6 drinks in 6 hours. That's like drink an hour. It's not that hard depending on the drink, right? It also depends on the drink. If you're drinking 6 IPAs, then yeah, of course you're probably gonna be like, I'm fucking full of shit. But if you're drinking 6 White Claws, you could drink 9 White Claws in the same amount of time and probably not feel a whole lot different, although the alcohol would get you. And that's what all the calories are in these things. I mean, there's 2 grams of sugar in this, right? But the 2 grams of sugar in this are added, and yet you still get 100 calories, which I've had drinks that they have no added sugar at all, and they still have 100 calories with the same amount of alcohol per volume. So that means that they have to be lying to you. It has to have more calories than 100, right? Unless there's some sort of calculation that's different with depending on the kind of amount of alcohol and the sugars that are there, and now that affects the bloodstream and all of that. I wholeheartedly believe that if you treat alcohol as like a potion instead of treating it like a drug, you are much better in line with the way that it should actually be treated. Like if you are drinking IPAs because you're like, I am consuming the blood of these oats. Like, I guess that would probably make some sort of practical sense, or at least something would get you there. Don't even get me started on weed stuff. I can't even get started with that because that's a whole different world of things, which gets crazy. And then stimulants, I think, are the most like abused thing ever now, which is and it's and like there's nothing wrong with that to a degree. Like to a degree, there's absolutely nothing wrong with stimulants. It's more so the fact that I'd say you have to have um the other side of it. Like you have to have the activity in your life. You have to have like the, basically have to be a Lance Armstrong. Like you can't just like do that shit and then like play video games and jack off. Like you have to like actually have an active interest and investment in something other than sociable, other than and that's the other thing too, is being like, well, what's the real reason why all these podcasters and people are like, oh, we got to get sober? Because they're bored. They don't have like, and if you're bored, you're either going to go back to doing drugs or you're going to like try to stick within hobbies and get other people away from addictions and things like that, so that they look at you and be like, oh, well, like you're a good person and you do this, so therefore maybe I should also do the thing. And then they look to you as like some sort of expert in your field and all this stuff. I'm overthinking this massively, but it's just like I feel like that's the real reason why. It's not, it has nothing to really do with your health. Your health is your health. Like, it is what it is. You could get healthy really fast. You could get really unhealthy really fast. That's how it is. You could be poisoned and die really quickly. That's the way that it is. And there's nothing really particularly bad about that, I'd say. Like you kind of just have to live with that, and that's how life goes. So we've gone pretty in depth over a lot of this stuff. We've gone over like a good majority. I haven't even talked about music anymore because I went into like YouTube and podcasting people, and I'm talking about like the outer Rogan sphere. You know the outer Rogan sphere. You know when people are like they're like Joe Rogan, but they're not. Like they're like, I'm cooler than. I'm not really. I'm actually cooler than. Well, it's like, and then you realize you're like, man, this isn't really like, you're not really cooler. It's just like you fit a pocket, a demographic that Joe Rogan wouldn't. Younger people, people that aren't meatheads, library people, I like books. That kind of guy. That's how you end up with like Charles Carroll. Like you be like a guy that looks like he likes books. Like me, like I look like a guy that likes music. I don't like music. Fuck, like I don't fucking like music. What the fuck? The fuck? I hate music. Music fucking sucks. So like, of course, I'm going to put all this stuff in the background to make you think that it's good. And then that will make me look like I'm actually really good at what I do. What else can I don't, so you get prescribed by that stuff. I'd say like because it's the fucking, you're a white guy in your 30s and you get prescribed these things like Sam Hyde. It's like I don't need to be prescribed memes. I already like went through being on 4chan as a fucking teenager. Like I don't like, I really don't need it. I'm also like in that camp of like, I have every major streaming service and I hate it. Like I can't, because I can't go on there and like watch and find something that I want to watch. Like you almost need, because curation doesn't exist anymore. You need some sort of like the only curation that does exist, and thank God for Discord, is like if you go on a Discord server, people will like start talking and then communicating, and then just like in real time start curating things, meaning like explaining why they like something. And so that will get you interested in fucking watching that movie or TV show or listening to that album or song. And you can separate in sections the different categories by which people, different types of people get interested in things. So you have like a board where like you upload all of your mega upload links so people can legally download content, Or you could just have a place where you share your YouTube songs that you want people to listen to. Or you have a place where you share your own personal music, or you put, a place. All of that works. But then you have to also prescribe into that community. Otherwise, if you don't like continuously talk within the community, they just die. They don't talk anymore, and they don't like do anything. And that's the end of curation, like where it's like, okay, well, like if we're not like spending time thinking about this stuff, going, okay, like the things that make this cool are the X, Y, and Z, and then you kind of say, okay, well, like, well, how can we take things from other things and combine them and make them into like one cool, and that's how you end up making culture. That's And then that goes into the argument against AI, which is like that. Well, the AI stuff is really useful as a creative tool for people that don't have access, or the really more so the capability to sit there for hours and draw out and think of things, and then like have the dedicated spirit to like go through, and the willpower to go and make all of these specific images and sounds happen. You don't have that. Instead, you just pump it into a machine, and a machine gives you like 95,000 things that you could pick from, and then you just pick and choose the ones that you want. But then what you end up having is like Dune the movie by Jodorowsky versus Dune the movie that we got now versus Dune the movie. So the version that you want is this like crazy, like super well thought out, like really detailed, and would have been like insane and like had like crazy, like just out there thing. But you don't get that. You get the conglomeration, and then you get the even smaller conglomeration, and then you get like this like super pure form of like science fiction where it's just everything's sleek and smooth, and everything's just in space, and nothing is like culturally relevant to anything else, and nothing looks like, and like, and then it goes into being like, haven't you guys seen Life Force? I mean, like, can you make a movie that's about aliens at least fun, like, or at least like, if you're gonna make it schlocky, and I'm not even gonna go into I haven't watched the new Alien. I I didn't watch I didn't watch Prometheus or Alien Covenant. Like I didn't watch either of those, and I love the original Alien, but it's like you have to have this specific kind of um cultural origin thing, that you need this like specific box that you can put, like take the whole thing and put it in the box. That's what you need. But you just super clip that all day. That's what you need though. You need that, because if you don't have it, what ends up happening is like, okay, well, what, like imagine a Planet Hollywood now. Okay? Imagine a Planet Hollywood now where there's no memorabilia on the walls because it all looks the fucking same. Like all like what is that? What movie is that from? Oh, it's from Taken 5. But it's like a fucking jumbled up piece of this is a piece of debris from something that we blew up on a set for a movie that nobody watched. Or like here's like what, like here's the suit that was worn by these people when were in the green screen. Like, why the fuck would I want to like go see that? You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to? Like, why would I want to eat and like see that? But back in the day, there was appeal to being like, oh, you went out and then you saw like, oh, here's the masks from Beetlejuice, or like, oh, here's like Superman's suit. Oh, here's like a Batman suit from Batman and Robin. Oh, here's the Zord suit, like the what's his name, the Ivan Ooze suit. Like all that shit was at Planet Hollywood, and it was cool as fuck. And like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to see this, and like this is tight. But you don't have that anymore because like, well, you're gonna go see the Power Rangers suits that look like fucking. They look literally like fucking paintball armor. Like this is not. It's not original. It's not like this is not like even something cheaper looks more original than something that's like supposedly more expensive looking. Oh, try to make it metal, like it's alloy, and it doesn't even look cool. It's like fucking retarded, and like I can't even, I can't like the bad words. I can't even really get into that though. That's the thing. I love the camera just keeps moving around on me. It's so good. This is a good bit. I like this. I do like how I somehow brought up Planet Hollywood. Like, I ate there one time when I was a kid in Florida. I went to the one in Disney World. And I went to Disney Quest. Disney Quest was cool, like downtown Disney. Like, there's all these nostalgic things that happen where like you realize like it's because I don't go outside. Like if I just like went out, I'd realize like oh there is actually a lot of curated spaces, but they're like curated spaces for fucking nerds. Like they're not like curated for like the mass public. They're for fucking nerds. And it's like bad. It's like it'll be like you'll go to this okay, it's a Moomin Garden, like it's all Moomin themed. They're fucking cardboard cutouts or some shit like that. You're like, oh, this is like they can't even get people in suits to like walk around in mascot suits like they used to. You have to like be around cardboard cutouts and like things that move around. You know, this is a rage of stupidity. I should go to Disney and just be like, I'm doing a live stream at Disneyland. I'm Banksy. I'm actually Banksy. I'm really Banksy. I'm Banksy. I love that. Somebody told me like the King Robbo thing. They were like in they went to London because they went to Paris for the games and shit and like he's like I saw a sign that was like for a Banksy exhibit, and it like was covered over. It said "Long live King Robbo," and the whole King Robbo thing is, like you can look into it. It's all about like Banksy basically just being a dickhead, and like apparently like that guy just like slapped the shit out of him, and was like, "Oh, you don't remember me? You all remember me now?" like I can't do a British accent for shit. Smacked his ass, bro. Smacked his ass and got him. It got him. It got him. Yeah, they got that shit. But he's dead. He fell and died, which is bad. That happened. Um, what else? Where do we go with this? I'm still live. I don't even know why I'm still alive. I was going to end it a little while ago so that I could start cooking. I think at 5 o'clock I'll start cooking. Maybe I should just go live on the cooking do a cooking channel. I can't get a cable long enough out there. It's not gonna work. I don't think that this is a maneuverable thing. There may be it may have come with one actually. I think it might actually do a wireless charge. Then I that would be funny. Here's the recipe for just winging it. Last night I made sausage rolls, winging it, like just using. I still have I need to make that too. So I'm making two kinds. I'm gonna make like sausage, sausage. I'm making stew meat, so like I have to like cook up like a carne asada kind of dealio, and stew that for like a long time, and then I want to make I have extra what's it called? I made those rolls last night. So I have extra crescent rolls. I was gonna make well, it's not they're not crescent rolls. They're just straight up for biscuits, country biscuits. They're good. They worked out really well because I mean because it's like a chewy like hot dog kind of thing. It reminded me exactly of like when you get like this is the most fucked up food of all time, but like at Japanese grocery stores sometimes they have spaghetti rolls. Like it's like they put spaghetti in a roll and then roll it up and like and you're like eating spaghetti like it's just like you may as well just be eating raw dough inside there with spaghetti sauce. It's like the weirdest thing. But like it's that with a hot dog. I make it with bangers. I got bratwurst, and I still have some bratwurst. I could do that too. I could so like the idea is like I could also do some chop and then fuck it out. Um, we wanted to do that and then just heat up some tortillas and then eat it like a regular ass fajita, and then because I got fajita wraps, and then I also got some extra 4 more of those rolls, so I was gonna make those and make like a fucked up pupusa thing. It'd be really weird, but it'd be all breakfasty and weird. I guess it would be fine. I could make oven bacon. Just getting too out of hand at this point. Like there is no excuse for any of the atrocities that I'm about to commit, inside and outside of my body. We don't. I do. I was watching. I watched a couple live streams earlier of people, and it's good to be on drum streams like I did earlier. And also, I should be over here. This is how it actually sounds. It sounds pretty good over here, right? Yeah. Well, now. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be over here. What? I don't even know what music's going on over there. I don't know what there's some sort of thing going on downtown right now. I don't know what it is. What is what I don't see. Do we have people in chat? Like, can I see? Nah, there's no people in chat. Like we're done basically. I do have 2 concurrent viewers. To everybody that has viewed, thanks. I don't usually get viewers. I usually end before that. This one will go live. I'm okay with that. I did take down one video. I think I just need to redo it. You know when you're like, I think I need to redo it. I think I just need to do a redo. I didn't think hard enough about. I honestly feel like I didn't talk about myself. Talk about myself so that I can get things over with. As far as like, it's more of like you just want to talk about your it's not your past, it's just your life, right? Like the that's everybody's thing. So yeah, I'll probably, I don't know if I may not go on live again right now, but like we may go live later if we do want to do the cooking stream, but I probably have to do it with my phone, which would be awful. And yeah, it's basically it. What else can I do? I've got, like, I guess we can do a little, and a little bit of